Yo, what's going on, everybody? So if you check the comments to my last G.I. Joe video, the Outback video, I did have a lot of people actually bringing up this Operation Monster Force by Big Bad Toy Store, and I get it. It looks like another military comparable line. But the crazy thing is, like, these figures don't look bad to me. Like, they look good. I've got people that commented about them. I got people that DM'd me about them. Just wanted to know my thoughts. So overall, my thoughts are, I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because we don't have these figures in hand. These figures can look as nice as they want to look in these promotional shots. And I'm pretty sure these aren't even pictures of the figure. These are just 3D renders. So these figures can look as nice as they want to look in the promotional shots, but since I don't actually see the product, since we have nothing but 3D renders, I really don't know. But what I will say is that for $36.99 this is gonna be another line that just makes Legends look bad, because just looking at all these accessories that these figures are coming with is really nice. This is really nice. And I already have people in my comments, because I get it, it's a military line, so that's why people are automatically gonna make comparisons. So I'm already getting people making comparisons. Oh, it's better than Valaverse, it's better than Classified, it's better. Bro, I can't sit here and say what it's better than, and all I have is renders to go off of. Now, do I think it's likely that it's going to be better than Classified? Maybe, especially with Classified, Kamakura and certain figures already being $30. You had some tax, we had $32 or $33. This is $37, and we are definitely getting way more here than we get with a standard Classified, let alone a Marvel Legends. It blows Marvel Legends out of the water. So I do think that it is really good as far as the price point is concerned. This brings it to around Valaverse's price point. But the reason I'm not gonna say that I think it's better than Valaverse is because I don't have it yet. I don't see it in hand. None of those things. I do think that the fact that these pouches are removable, if they are, because it looks like they peg in here, I do think that option and stuff like that is cool, especially if it's interchangeable between the figures. That's dope. But to honestly just offer some 3D renders, say that, oh, this line is already better than Valaverse, than Action Force, this line is already better than G.I. Joe Classified, that's a stretch, man. I feel like people, I love it. I love the competition. I love that we have so many similar lines. That is an amazing thing, that we can even start to compare them, that we have basically a variety. And being that we have such a variety, of course, we're going to be able to compare them. But the reason, to me personally, I think this is not going to be better than Action Force is because I like traditional soldiers, and that's not really what this line is. This looks great. This looks amazing. Like, this base body right here looks great. It looks like I could use this base body for a lot of things. I like the hands. Look at the staff. This helmet looks dope too. Like, everything about these Operation Monster Force Forgotten Kingdom figures look really good. Like, it actually looks so good. I didn't think they were 1/12 at first. I thought they were like 1/16 or 1/18 scale figures, but a lot of these figures look good. But for when it comes to Action Force, at least, they make some traditional modern military type of figures. That's not what these are. These are very like fantasy inspired. That's what I would say, because it is about vampires. So you have a vampire army, you have soldiers, and all of that is great. I like that. Like, I really like that. That is dope. But it's not traditional military. Now, of course, we're playing with action figures, so this is about using your imagination. You can make anything traditional military that you want to. I do it all the time. But for me, of course, I'm going to prioritize Action Force and Classified, because they're a little bit more basic, and they're a little bit more traditional when it comes to military figures. But these figures do look awesome. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that even though they are also military figures, it's still kind of not really the same thing, because this is very heavily fantasy inspired. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of if Mythic Legions had to be modern. If Mythic Legions had to be modern, and they told the Four Horsemen, hey, make a modern line and give us soldiers, just make the vampires modern. That's what this reminds me of. And with the Blade movie coming out soon, I think this would be pretty dope. I think this is going to be amazing for the Blade figures. Out of all of them, This one right here, the Delta Red Nocturnal Operations Trooper, this is my favorite. And of course, it's obvious why it is, because to me personally, this guy looks the most traditional. This guy looks like, especially if I'm not using this helmet, with this helmet down, it looks a little bit more futuristic or whatever, but that's cool too. But this helmet right here, this looks dope. This looks similar to a Viper, just in black. So this looks really nice. And once again, you can see the pegs right here, they're off, so these all might literally be interchangeable, and that is super cool. I never even seen anything like that before on Vest. Now on these 3D renders though, something that does concern me, though the top portion is similar to Classified and Action Force, that looks great. I'm not seeing a lot of thigh swivels for whatever reason. Maybe it's just the pictures, maybe, but if these figures don't have thigh swivels and they got everything else, that is going to be one step backwards, because that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But this figure right here, you want to army build vampire troopers, literally. I hope that this line does come out, because this one figure right here is one that I would get multiple of just to put with my mythic legions as the modern vampire troopers. This looks dope. I really like this one a lot. If I had to pick a second favorite, what would my second favorite be? It's probably going to be the Urban Operations, because it's so similar to this one and it's blue. So yeah, we're definitely going to go with Urban Operations, probably Dracula, of course. And I do like the gas mask, or just the mask on this guy in general. This looks like a good Crimson Guard body, to be honest. Yeah, this looks like a good Crimson Guard. Like if you want, I wonder, they say 1/12 scale, but you know, sometimes it's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, a few centimeters. And so I really wonder how this is going to stack up next to a traditional Action Force or Classified. But this body looks great. Throw a Crimson Guard helmet on there, whatever, and you'll have a different type of Crimson Guard. A lot of these weapons do look kind of steampunkish though. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but hey, it's whatever. Overall, the figures still look really good. This Dracula looks really, really nice. I can't even hate on this. Like this head sculpt, this looks like this would be a lot of people's definitive Dracula or a definitive Morbius, or this definitely looks like it. This will be, for me personally, if I get this, it will be my definitive Dracula. So that's why, even though I do see a lot of comparisons to Action Force, 100%, there's no way I'm gonna sit here and just over 3D renders say, oh yeah, it's better. No way, no way. Action Force is doing some really amazing things, and now they're about to drop Wave 3, which is the females, and that's going to change the game. No company has ever given us a wave full of female troopers, like military female troopers. It's never happened before, and they're the first ones to do it. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to turn out. But even these figures do look great. I'm not saying that they don't, they really do. This blue base body looks really good too. Even if you don't want this stuff on it and you just throw the mask on it, basic blue trooper, similar to one that Action Force has given us, similar to one that, you know, that we can find in other lines. But once again, no thigh swivel here, which is really strange. Like I really do hope that there's a thigh cut at least here or up here somewhere. McFarlane has literally put them down here to hide them sometimes with the sculpt, which I get it, it's not the greatest, but it still works. But I'm not seeing no thigh swivel. I don't know why, but all these accessories at the price point, I can't lie, man, this is looking really, really nice. But to me, it's still not the same. This is very heavily fantasy inspired. But these troopers do look really good. I hope this line does go far. I will back it, because this is a pre-order. It's on Big Bad Toy Store. There's no reason not to. We won't get charged until the figures actually come in. So I'm definitely going to order a few, and hopefully they meet the amount that they need to meet. And if that's the case, because things for Big Bad Toy Store have gone up before for pre-order, especially things that they're a part of, and then for whatever reason, it will get canceled later down the line. So hopefully this doesn't, because these figures do look really promising at this price point. I really feel like this is like a modern Mythic Legions. Like I said, the thigh swivel is concerning, but I like these. I like all the weapons, the holsters, and this looks like a lot of options. And that's what I love. I love kit bashing. I love taking something and making it my own. I don't like making it be something that the company told us it had to be. Make it your own. You have an imagination, use it. And this looks like it's giving us a lot of options for that. Literally, man, this is literally like a modern day Mythic Legions line, and they can really go really far with this if they wanted to. Unfortunately, no females in the wave, and y'all know I love my female figures, man. I don't want my shelves to just look like a sausage fest, but I love my female figures, and hopefully if this Operation Monster Force line keeps going, they'll give us some females, definitely. But it looks promising. I'm gonna say that it looks very, very promising. But for me to say it's better than action, nah. Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. No, and all we got to go off of is 3D renders. But this does look good. This does look promising. Hopefully when somebody, or whenever they do decide to post some actual renders of the figures, see, like some of these look so good, maybe this isn't a 3D render, but I think that it is. But either way, I would just like some more clearer shots to definitively show that it's figures, to definitively show the scale and the size. And I say it all the time, I can't say it enough, we are literally living in the greatest time ever for action figures. With production and all these third-party companies and 3D printing, we are part of the greatest time ever for action figures. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think it looks good? I think they look good. Like I said, I think it's just way too early to start comparisons about which one is better. Not to mention, I don't really always understand, why does there have to be one that's definitively better when, if you can afford to, just get them all and make them what you want them to be. This line, I would love to see Trigger fight an army of vampires. That would be dope to me. So I would army build those vampires and have my Action Force figures fighting those vampires. So it's not so much, some people act like, oh, if you like Marvel you can't like DC, or if you like DC vice versa you can't like Marvel. If you collect Action Force you can't collect classics. It's just childish to me. That's so childish. If it's accessible to us, why can't we enjoy it all? Especially that all of these figures are in scale with each other. Why can we not enjoy them all? But I am excited about this. These figures actually do look good. So thank you to everybody that hit me up about it. I appreciate it. Checking them out. I'm going to place some pre-orders and hopefully we actually get them. But we got a lot coming out. Like I said, Valaverse is going to hit us soon with a wave of females. I cannot wait. And on that note, guys, yeah, those are my thoughts. Real quick, just my thoughts on the Operation Monster Force. Another line, another military type fantasy line that I am looking forward to getting, that I probably will have in my collection. And I can't wait to see what they're like in person, man. Hope everybody's being safe. As I always say, life is short. Try to appreciate it more than you complain about it. Peace.
G.I. Joe, classified, Marvel Legends on my mind, Valaverse and NECA time, Mythic Legions I must find, SH Figure Arts I can't lie, Rebel Tech got my pockets dry, said action figures for life, articulated ninja is nice, yeah, you might wanna subscribe, action